My copy of The Dark Quarter has arrived and I could not be more excited. Let's see what I've ordered. Welcome to BoxedMeeples, I'm Julian, and unboxings are a bit of a weird thing, aren't they? From the title and the thumbnail and the bit I just showed, you know what is exactly in this box. However, I don't, because I haven't unboxed it yet. It's like you know the future. Anyway, I do have some clue on what is in this box, because on the front of the box, it says Lucky Duck Games, The Dark Quarter. Now this is a game I have wanted for years. Let's not get into all of the discussion about delays on crowdfunding projects. It's finally here, and it has been on my most anticipated list for now 2 years. So clearly I do want it a lot. And the reason I want it is because of Van Ryder Games' involvement. I've talked about Van Ryder so much that it probably have its own playlist on the channel. I've talked about my love for Final Girl, and Detective is one of my favourite games of all time, Detective City of Angels. And also I love Hostage Negotiator. I had high hopes for games like Destinies and Divinus, but I'm fine with the app integration. That's great for me. I enjoy video games. What didn't really grab me though was the setting. Wasn't very interested in all of the themes they kind of chose to explore. And also the narrative wasn't as strong as I'd hoped. So having Van Ryder's involvement in this game really did tickle my pickle. And I didn't go completely all in, as you would have seen in the thumbnail. I got the bits that really appealed most. But there's those reasons why I shouldn't be filming this unboxing now. It's sunny, I should be outside, but I suffer from hay fever, so it looks like I've been punched in the face by a flower. That is why. My neighbours are deciding now is the opportune time to drill the wall, and my dog is freaked out because I've moved the table and set up lots of cameras, and he thinks perhaps I might be moving house and leaving him. So if any of those things interfere with this video, I apologise in advance, but I just wanted to open this. I'm just so excited, and I wanted to kind of convey that excitement to you. You know, I didn't want to have a sneaky look first. I wanted it to be a genuine reaction, and that's always risky, because if I didn't back the things I thought I have, maybe I'll be crushingly disappointed. It has happened before. Or indeed, if some of the stuff I thought I had ordered and later check I've ordered isn't in here, I'm going to be disappointed as well. But enough talk, because you can see me talking in lots of other videos. Let's open this up. And no, you can't see my address on there, so don't zoom in or do any of that nonsense. Right. Also, the problem with unboxings are when you do it this genuinely, you only kind of get one shot at it. It's kind of tricky to do it twice. Okay. I think the best thing to do will be to take all of the stuff out and then talk about it. Lots and lots of packing. Now with Van Ryder games, I always feel I need to look underneath everything, because normally there's something hidden, and there's a hidden bit of paper. Right, as I was getting out, I was kind of a little bit alarmed then, because I could only see 2 boxes, but I felt there are 3. So let's put these over here and talk about this one. So this is the obvious starting point. This is the base game. Now, I know I can't play this for a few weeks yet. This is an app-driven game, and the app at the moment isn't quite ready yet. What I am excited about is that this is also a miniatures game, and you might have already seen on another video that I've done a little practice painting a mini that could exist in this world. So I'm going to spend the wait before the app's ready and you can actually play it, just getting the minis ready. And also 2 of these characters appear as final girls, so I could use those in that. So that's the base game, The Dark Quarter. Now, if you don't know what this kind of game is, it is a very adult-only game, not in a sexy way, but in a kind of gory, gothic, terrifying way. It's set in New Orleans in the 80s. hence my beautiful neon attire today. And that kind of did intrigue me. And I know Evan Derrick has been writing this, and Evan Derrick is one of my favourite board game writers. Love his work in Detective, so that was very exciting to me. As I mentioned, I wanted to paint minis, so I've got all of the additional minis. So I think there's how many in here? 8 minis come with the base game, which you might have a look at in a minute. And this is another set of the same minis. Well, not the same minis, that'd be ridiculous. Don't need the same ones twice. But of a 20, which can be used with the base game. And they're not required. No minis are required for many games. But I like painting minis. I like having minis in the game. So if these are regularly occurring characters, that will be exciting. And finally, in my trio of fun, I have the Dark Quarter, Yesterday Demon, and Other Stories. Now this, I think it was a crowdfunding exclusive. I don't know for sure, but I think it was. And yeah, I think this came with not much more to get. I didn't get the expansion though, because I've got lots of games on the shelf that are solo games, which is how I'm going to play this, that I haven't really explored too much of beyond the base game. So I figured, well, if I enjoy this and I exhaust everything I have and I want more, I'll get the expansion at that point. Hopefully it'll be available in retail, but you know, if it's not, then there's lots of content here for me to enjoy. But I think this wasn't much extra, and I think this serves as a prequel from what I remember seeing about. And yay, it has 4 more minis. It takes me to a total, I think, of 28 minis, is it, to paint? Don't know. So shall we have a quick look in one? Sure. There's loads of unboxings going to be online. So if you want to see a more professional one with better setup than this, have a go and have a look at that. But just my first reactions to what's in here, because I don't know how big the minis are. And I want to find that out. So, okay. Rulebook. These punch boards. There's a lovely board, and you navigate around that. Dual layered player boards, and you know, we've seen these in Destiny's very similar method here. It does use that engine, but it has built on it quite a lot. And the minis are, let's have a look, see if I can open this. Okay, so the minis are the same size as the Final Girl ones, which is good, because that's okay. It does make them slightly harder to paint, of course. But what I really like is there's little instructions of where they're meant to sit in the trays. I like things like that. And this one is very similar to the one I did the practice paint on. So I know the style of painting I'm going to incorporate for that. Just briefly, I'm going to do a black undercoat, and I'm going to do a grey dry brush layer and a very light white layer on top of that, almost like a Zenithal Prime. Then I'm going to just speed paint them, because I'm not going to get a great deal of detail like this, but I will get out of this bad boy. Look at the size of that. That's beautiful. And yeah, hopefully I can get them all painted, ready to go by the time the app's released. Instantly recognizable dice. If you've played Destiny's, I kind of have an idea of how these will play. So yeah, that's the base box. Shall we open one more? Why not? Let's have a look at the minis, because that's what I'm most excited about. And I think from what I've seen already in the kind of official unboxings, there is another gigantic mini in here. Shall we have a look? No, there isn't. That's in that one then. So these are just player characters you're going to meet. And these are, oh no, that's quite big. He's quite a big one. Look at that chunky big boy. I don't know who any of these people are. I know the people in the base game. I know the 4 characters, but yeah, these are all very similar size to the Final Girl ones. Slightly smaller than the ones that came with Detective City of Angels. Well, we've done 2. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Let's just crack on and see what's in the last box before the neighbours start drilling again. It's kind of a race against time here. Trying not to cut my hand open. Although that kind of would be thematic, I suppose. Okay, so this is Yesterday's Demon and Other Stories. My dog is now freaking out that there's all sorts of plastic rolling on the floor. I do like the 80s neon setting. That's always appealing to me. So Yesterday and Other Stories is not a standalone game, it's expansion. You acquire the other one and you need the app, which isn't available yet. I don't know if they're focusing on the base app first. It would make sense for them to do that. But yes, there is a massive mini in here. I probably shouldn't look too much because looking would kind of spoil things. So I'm gonna half look. And yeah, says there's more individual smaller minis in here. And let's just pretend that went perfectly back in the box. And I don't unpack it. So let's put that over there, this up there, instructions. So that is everything I got for the Dark Quarter. Have you backed it too? Is it arriving on your shores? I don't know where Britain was in the kind of delivery schedule. So it may not have reached your territory yet. You may already have it. And if you do, let me know if you're enjoying looking at the stuff and getting ready for the kickoff once the app does arrive. It's been a long time waiting, I will admit that much. But I am so excited to play this. I'll be playing it predominantly solo. I'll probably play the whole campaign solo. And then if Lib wants to get involved, I'll obviously know how to play it. And I could shepherd her through it maybe. But yeah, just finally having it is a relief. Because, you know, sometimes Kickstarters don't work out and we don't get them. I didn't think that would be the case with this because both Lucky Duck and Van Ryder Games have a good reputation for that kind of thing. I thought it was quite a low risk, but as the years ticked on, but it's here now. And I am so eager to play it. Now, if you are new to the channel and you've not seen me or my wife before, we are BoxedMeeples and we post a video right here on YouTube at least twice a week, always talking about board games. So if that's your kind of thing, you may want to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you always get told when a new video is up. But as always, thank you so much for watching.